dealing with what happened in the past, and we are going to actively participate in that because we do believe that the legacies of slavery, the legacies of apartheid, and the legacies of the very bad things that happened in the past do need to be addressed. And our own transformation process speaks to that. Even as we speak about the expropriation of land, we speak about it within the context of transformation, within the context of nation building. And this is precisely what I also spoke about in Parliament when I responded to the debate. And in all this, we are going to be basing everything on our Constitution. And our Constitution is a uniting document. It's a very well-crafted document that is meant to build a nation, that is meant to build cohesion, and that is meant to make every South African feel that they are in this journey together with all of us. So, the executive order that has been given by President Trump is obviously something that is concerning to many South Africans, including those who ran off to the United States.
Good old South African prep here. So my comments on this video, so my foreign viewers, that's the President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa. He's worth, according to the news, $450 million US. So he's done something right as a president for raking up so much money in his bank account. So the first thing that I want to talk about on this video is slavery. So all of my South African viewers, please drop a comment. Put up your hands. How many slaves do you have? Honey, how many slaves do we have? Oh, fuck all. None. Zero. Slavery was abolished somewhere in the 1700s in South Africa. Okay? South Africa is not really known. Its history doesn't really have slavery in it. It's got conflict between black and white tribes. But slavery is not really a thing. And just, Mr. President, fucking history. Okay? In Africa, East Africa, black people were selling black people as slaves. In actual fact, today it's still happening in Africa. More black people have sold black people for slaves than white people have traded slaves. But anyway, that's besides the point. So this guy is outright lying about shit. He says that our constitution includes everybody and he wants to build a rainbow nation where everybody is included. Yet you signed bills, you have signed 2 bills the last 2 months that specifically focuses on race. If the next bill goes through, this extra bill connected to the expropriation bill, we will have 143 laws against us. And you telling me it's all-inclusive, rainbow nation, Hakuna Matata, let's everybody... Nonsense, you're a liar. You are a liar. And 2 days ago, for the first time in South Africa's democracy, they couldn't do a budget. Now, anyway, we know that the budget is absolutely down the fucking drain because they are bankrupt. They wanted to push that up with another 2%. And maybe I was rooting for them to put it up with 2% because you know who's going to be punished if the VAT goes up with 2%. It's the voters that voted for these buggers to be in power. And I said this before. The voters, the people on the ground voting for these people need to be punished. And the way you punish them is financially. And it sounds a bit rough and it sounds a bit inhumane, but if you're going to keep on voting for these people, you're going to keep on getting the same results. And we know that the ANC is not able to build infrastructure, to grow the economy, to get investors into the country. In actual fact, what they're busy doing is they're chasing away investors in South Africa because as soon as you take away property rights, okay, an investor will not come here. An investor is not going to spend money on property without him knowing that somehow he can recuperate that money. An example, a foreign investor comes in, he buys a piece of land and he starts his business, whatever the business is. Okay? In a perfect world, if the government needs that piece of land, they will compensate him. They will get 3 or 4 accountants. They will work out what the whole property thing is worth. And they will pay him. And the investor will say, okay, I'm very happy now. Although I had to sell the property, at least I got my investment back. Now what they're doing is an investor comes in, he spends his money and invests in South Africa. And then tomorrow the government decides, we're going to take it. He loses everything. Investors will not come to South Africa anymore, Mr. President. You know why? Because you signed bills into law that is stopping them from coming. Elon Musk wants to start Starlink in South Africa. He outrightly refuses to pay 30% of his business over in order to get a license to trade in South Africa. Well, kudos for you, Mr. Musk. I think that is a kick in the face of the ANC, because they were just standing there, another lucky packet. Let's make some extra mullahs on the side here. Anyway, slavery. Tell me, how many slaves you have? God bless.